All right, welcome back, Skyliners, to episode 5, Operation Stewtopia. Dun 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 dun. I'm doing the Mortal Kombat theme. That's not right. Anyway, I'm glad you came by. I'm glad you're stopping in, and I'm glad you're spending some time with me. Let's take a look at what we're going to accomplish on this episode. We have 4. We're breaking the mold. We're getting away from 3 goals. We're going to 4. We have 4 goals today. Number 1, we have to rotate, move, and add roads to Stewtopia. There's some changes from the last time we'll go over in just a minute. Number 2, we have to set up all the southern road connections for the city. So that's the southwest, the south, and the southeast road connections going into the Stewtopia city. And number 3, we are going to place the municipals down, I can say that word, in the southern leg of the city. We're actually going to put in the entire water network, I think, and just get that done. And then we will establish electricity in the southern portion and put in some police and fire and schools and healthcare so that people can start moving in. And then goal number 4 is to start zoning the city. And we'll go over what my thought processes and ideas are for all of that. So let's get into it. So here we have the overview of the city. And as you can see right off the bat, it looks different. So what I did off camera is, well, I'll tell you, it's actually a lot more than just a simple thing. When we did the previous Stewtopia, even Stewtopia 2.0, the city was not straight in line with this lower city, and it doesn't have to be. I kind of wanted it just straight in line with the map, the north-south, and it wasn't. It went off at an angle. It was a pretty severe angle too. Coming the north-south route actually started about here and came down to Roundabout Center. Why? Because I built off of the north side of the highway here, if you recall, but way back in episode 1, however long ago that wasn't that long ago, a couple weeks ago, I had moved the off-ramp and on-ramps here for the highway entrance. I had shifted those. So I shifted the south side of the highway, but I didn't physically shift the highway. So if you look at this, you kind of can tell the highway still runs at a little bit of an angle comparative to how Stewtopia runs now. It's kind of got a straight down shot. It comes straight down through here. If we pan down here, we pretty much have a straight shot. It's still a little bit off, but this area is going to go away anyway, so I don't care. So we got the game paused right now. The other thing you're going to look at here is you're going to look at this thing and say, that looks familiar. Yes, it looks like the Death Star. Right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. Okay. If I turn this on, that's the zoning areas. That really looks like the Death Star because it's really gray now. Anyway, so the other thing we did, which we said in the previous episode we weren't going to do, is we actually attached the ends of these roads. And the reason we did that, and we actually bumped out the nodes some, we laid in the roads and we bumped the end of the road. It was coming out to here and it was stopping right along this edge here. So you only had a 4 unit, let me change the marquee here. So you only had 4 units deep. I can get even closer so we can talk about this properly. However, a lot of the municipal buildings that we're going to put in aren't 4 units, they're 5 units deep. So I really needed something that I could still come along this side and be able to put the municipals alongside the main roads here on the highway, or in the I'm gonna get these roads right one day. The 4-lane one-way roads, the main legs, that's what I want to try and call them. We still want to build alongside of these, and they're going to be 5 deep. So we'll still build. They'll still be 5 deep. We're not going to build in this area, even though you have some zoning available here. It's not going to build in this area. So what did that do? It messed us up a little bit here. But I started to think about it. I'm like, you know, everything was so straight and orderly. Having stuff at a little bit of an angle, it's going to offer a little bit unique look and function and feel to the areas. So I'm all for it. And as you go out, yeah, you still have a lot of straight stuff. Everything's still 4 deep except for the side here or something like that. So no big deal. And I like the look of this. Now, I'm telling you, this was not easy to do. You look down this line here, it's pretty darn straight right now, but I had to get in here with the Move It mod and adjust these back and forth. And you can see it's crashing in on this side, but just a little bit further out over here. You go to the next one, okay, that's further out and kind of even on that one. You go to the next one, this is now crashing at the top. So they're not perfectly straight, but once we get everything populated, once we get everything in here, you're not going to see that little, you see how that one up here, this one I'm putting my cursor around right now, that was kind of a funky angle. So if we zoom up there and go check this one out, see how bad it's crashing in at the bottom here, how much of a gap it has at the top? Whatever. In fact, it looks like I missed this one because I actually wanted those out just a little bit more. So we're going to actually fix that. We're going to go back and make sure we're selected nodes, grab that, and just bump it over here. Now if we go back in there, see how it's a little bit straighter? It crashed into this area a little bit more, but that's fine. It kind of matches up with the other side almost. So I'm all good with that stuff. So let's get to it. So we're going to start off with let's go back to an overview here of this city. Oh, and I moved that inner circle out one spot as well. So anyway, we're all set here. We're good to go for the city. So first things first, we're going to have to get rid of these roads and put in the junction. Let's take a look at some different junctions here. I think for these lower sections here, we don't want just a standard roundabout. I think that we want to go with something along this line. It's nice, it has trees and stuff built into it. We could even go with even a more standard one like this. If I can get it to snap in here. Let me turn on anarchy real quick. I can't get over to anarchy. There we go. So that way it'll at least just hover in there a little bit easier and not try and snap to things. That one's not bad. If we go along here, these are much too big. Yeah, that's too big. That one's not bad, but I don't need a four-way intersection really. I need a three-way intersection with just a little bit extra. That one's not bad. It feeds onto like a lower roundabout. That one's just spaghetti. Oh my goodness, that one's gorgeous. Nice little Celtic symbol. That one's just spaghetti. I'm trying to get to other ones here. This one's not bad. This one's nice and tight. I kind of like that one. And it'd be very low profile. You could fit it right in there. It's got a upper ramp. If we look at the angle here a little bit, we can see it does raise up. It has an upper ramp that it comes up to and goes down to, right down to the ground. I think we're going to use that one. So we will use that one for these two nodes, or these two intersections. This one it's coming off at a highway. It's actually got to get moved over here. I'm wondering if a roundabout is going to work there. You know what? Let's put it in. Let's see what we got, and we'll go from there. So let's get to it. Speed mode on. Okay, so we got our intersections in. Ta-da! That only took how long? I don't know. Had to buy an extra square over here because I was a dummy and I backed off the highway too far, so we did have to buy an extra square. So that's unfortunate, but we had a lot of money available, so that's fine. We got our intersections in place. Let's turn it on and see what happens here to all these cars that are all over the place. They're going to turn around on the highway. They're all going to turn around, come up to the roundabouts. A lot of them are going to take the roundabouts. We need to do a little bit of maintenance on the roundabouts with Traffic Manager because we're going to get this. Everybody coming off the highway. Just to go over and get back on the highway, I bet. Let's see what they do. A lot of them are turning around, so that is legit. That's going to take a little while for them to figure out what the heck they want to do. And then we'll get it set up. But in the meantime, we can get these roundabouts set up. We are going to set them up typical Traffic Manager wise. Going to go in here, hold down Shift, and just actually we're going to do a Control Shift. Can we do a Control Shift on this one? Control Shift click is a quick setup high priority road roundabout. Yeah, we're going to do a Control click Shift. And what that does is it says no change in lanes on these sides. But you can change lanes there on the edges, so that's fine. Gives make sure that anybody coming into the roundabout yields for anybody on the roundabout, and then also turns off all the no crossing signs. So that's what these do. Let's jump over to the next one, and we will do the same thing. Zoom in a little bit. Alt Shift click, boom, set up and good to go. Now this one. Yeah, I'm still going to do it. We're going to do it and see what happens. It's probably a bad idea. Well, it's saying no lane change here. So we're actually going to Control S that one. Let's select this one. And we're going to Control S. I thought I selected that one. No? Did I not? I thought I selected that one. We have selected that one. And I thought it was Control S. Is it Shift S? Is it Alt S? No, Alt S is something completely different. Okay, let's go back in here and we'll do it manually. And I think we just hit escape. Is that what turns it off? No, we hit delete. I knew I'd get to it, but why isn't I swear to God, it was Control S. Anyway, let's select, let's back out of that. Let's select this one. Can I Control S this? There they go. Okay, it maybe just took a couple clicks of it to let it figure out what the heck's going on. So I do want them to be able to change lanes here because they're coming on to the on-ramp here. And while I'm going to have them select their lanes when they come on, if I can remember what one that was, this one. I do, oh, see, they're allowed to just run right in. I'm going to leave that on. God, I don't want to leave that on. Usually I would turn this off for the people coming in so that they can't enter the junction. On a typical roundabout, I'm going to go back to the other ones and set that up. But this is really just a really throughway here. You know, I mean, these guys, honest to God, I really should have like a little slip lane running out to this one and just merge up over here. The other thing we got to do, we got to turn down the speed on these because this is going to be way too fast. Yeah, it's as fast as the highway, so people are going to, except for the on-ramps. The on-ramps are a little bit slower, but I want the whole roundabout to be 50, so we'll turn all these down to 50 because the people coming on are going 50 miles an hour. These guys are going 65, but that's fine. So we want to give them a chance to be able to get on and merge with ease, and we'll go around to all three of these and set these all up. 50, 50, 50, 50. And I am holding shift down when I'm doing this, but because there's so many nodes, the whole idea of the shift click is that you can affect an entire road. Like right now, if I just hover on this one, I just have the one section. Hold down shift, I do the whole section, but it only goes between node to node. So these ones up here that have little nodes in between them, you still have to do them individually. Unfortunately, that's too bad. Let's see here. We're going to go in here. No, we did not want that one. We wanted this one. And we do want anybody... Oh, yeah, they're going in. So that one doesn't matter. It's really this one, I think, is going to be important. Yeah, they don't have it set up for them to come on here. Yeah, this one I'm going to turn off. So that way the people on the roundabout always have priority. So if there's a heck of a lot of traffic rolling through here or coming on the off-ramp, the people coming out of the city here, they can stop, they can wait. They got a pretty good lead, you know, leg there. These guys got a huge lead leg. But, you know. And then the other thing I like to do is pick your lane when you come on, right? Come up here. Sure, yeah, pick your lane here. Actually, there's no crossing here. We're not having that. We're not having people crossing here. Same thing here. Pick your lane. And, yeah, we're going to have them not do that. They're coming out of the city there. Yeah. So we're not going to have them enter the junction. And we're going to have them pick their lane there. So, yeah. Same thing here. Oh, that's already set. Okay, and it should be set up over here as well, hopefully. Yeah. So we're good. We're good to go there. Let's go back to this other intersection. I'm curious. Curious George here. Curious Mike? Yeah, Curious Mike. Yeah, good to go. Do I want them to I want them to pick their lane when they come on. So if they're just going over and doing something wacky, then, you know, yeah, go do it. But get in the right lane from the start, from the time you enter the thing. So when you're on here, you're not changing lanes. I guess maybe that's why they have those no lane changes turned on, but I just feel like I wanted this one on. So anyway, this is going to work for now. I know down the line we are going to have to put a larger intersection in here. We will. Something that will feed properly the amount of traffic as we increase our peepholes in the area. So now another speed build. We're going to switch over and we're going to put in our water lines and get that in place and going. So here we go. Excellent. So we got our water in place. Real quick here, I'm going to drop another water inlet and outlet. It's weird that our sewage treatment is below our... I see why. Okay, whoops, that one did not snap to the... that one didn't snap in place, did it? No, we're going to have to move it. That one did. Okay. The reason why our sewage treatment is so much lower is I just noticed here we have an eco water outlet. We don't care about eco water outlet on this side, so we're going to destroy that one and get a proper poop building in place here. Yeah, we'll just attach it right to that one. The same one it was on. Doesn't matter really where it goes. Let's see it. Kick into gear and spew out some poo. But it should here. There it goes. That should bring it up. Same level. There we go. So now we have even water and sewer treatment. Our electricity is getting down near the border of what they can even supply for this area. And I believe we have a lone little incinerator plant down here. So we are going to establish our own electrical grid for this area. And I think for right now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little road coming off of here just to extend this, but it's going to have to be a 2-lane road so I can actually build on it. I think I'm going to bring this out 20 units. And on this road, I'm going to put the new electrical building here. Whoops, if I select the right thing. Let's see what we got here. So we're not going to do a hydropower plant in this city, I don't think. And I like stuff that doesn't fluctuate that much in power output. That's why I really like the oil power plant. It's a flat 120 megawatts. There you go. Here's your upkeep cost. Have at. But I really like the solar power plant. But it has a range. It has a power output of 112 to 160 megawatts. And that's because at night it outputs less, right? Because it doesn't have the sun shining on it and to charge it to full power. So doesn't have bad noise pollution, doesn't have any ground pollution. But if you come over here, there's the geothermal power plant. That's cool. It's 80 megawatts, but I think that's kind of big. Yeah, that's kind of big. I think we're going to go with this solar updraft tower. So the warmth generated by sunlight is what powers this power plant. The warm air goes up, turning the blades of fans that produce electricity. The large batteries within the building allow it to store energy and not be affected by day and night. Love it, love it, love it. Love the power output, 240 megawatts. Heck of a lot more cost, heck of a lot more upkeep, but the offsets are well worth it. Now this is a big old puppy, right? This is a big dog. So we're going to stick it right down here, I think, at the end. The pollution that you see that's overlapping into the first section up in this area up here, I don't think that's going to make a big difference. Right now, what is the power range of that? Yeah, see, it's going to reach right to that edge. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to lay in some zoning. So we'll go down to our zoning tool. It's number 2 on my keyboard. Yeah, my mind moves ahead there. And we're going to lay in some zoning here. In this first section, I'm going to try and refer to these as sections or sectors. And these as rings. The big ones I'll call the rings. The main legs are going to be the 4-way, 1-way road, so I can stop trying to say that darn phrase. It's going to be the main leg, and the sub leg are going to be the smaller. These are the remember, these are the 2-lane national roads, so I can't build on either side of these. When you see that highlighted, that's actually against this street. So so I'm going to turn the camera this way, and we're still going to do an overhead shot right now. Actually, I'm going to pause this real quick so we can lay this in. So I think I want to put industrial on this outside here, but I don't want to continue with the smoggy, nasty industrial that we got over here. So let's lay in our first district. Why not? So we have industrial specializations that we can do. Forestry, farming, we got the ore industry, the oil industry, and just generic industry. But we also have these specializations that we can do: tourism, leisure, organic, no commercial specialization. You know, so they have some additional restrictions and stuff, right? If we get into the office building builds, we can put in IT clusters, which create these very tall buildings. They're very generic and very cookie cutter in the sense that they all look very much alike. Or we can say no office. And finally, we can get into some self-sufficient buildings and some non-residential selection for this one as well. So I think for this first area, I think what I want to do is I want to go with a forestry or a farming. Let's take a look. You know what? Let's bring up our thing here and let's take a look. If I can remember, where is this one? Natural resources. So we have a little bit of farm fertile land here. We got some oil that is very tempting up here. Some farmland interior, but I do want to build it along the outside. Just the fact that we're not going to build on fertile area right away, not bad. We could go over here and actually build farmland over here too. But I want to try and keep it near here. Oh, he's complaining he needs some water too. Let's do that real quick before I do. Whoops. Before I do anything else. What is happening? What is happening? Let's go here. What are we doing? Got a water pipe? Water pipe with heating pipes. I don't want that. Turn that off. There we go. Let's let me select that little thing. And we're just going to go right down this road. It's going to be a little wonky angle there, but that's fine. That'll work. Gets them the water, shuts them up. So I think we're going to do a farming district in this area. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go back to that. Reselect this. What is our major malfunction here? Something's wrong. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I gotta zone it first. Oh, for crying out loud. Mike. Where's your head at? As they would say. Okay, so we're gonna zone this in. I like these roads just because it does this. Look how nice and straight that is. Ah, warms the cockles of my heart. Yes, indeed. Yeah, so we can just draw this whole area in. It'll all be nice and straight. I like it. Oh, this is so awesome. And then we can specialize this. Now we can go in and say, okay, we want this to be farming. So it's going to be farming. Still has the city policies on. And when we lay in the industrial in this area, it will only build the farms in this area. So we're not going to do a lot to start with. I just want to generate this electrical grid right from here on up this leg. So this next section we're going to do low density residential here. And this next section is going to be commercial. And I have been debating this in my mind, how I want to try and tackle this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do low density on the bottom side and high density on the upper side. This really centralizes the commercial in this area. But I don't think every single sector I'm going to do commercial. So I'm going to do it in this section probably. It'll be a whole nice little shopping plaza here. But then this next section... Excuse me, let me get a drink. Ah, much better. This next section I'm thinking of maybe even putting in a park. And if I put in a park, I'm not going to keep these roads. I would actually delete the roads. I'd actually delete the through road as well. And just create an entire, just section this off and zone it, district this sucker as a, you know, put down a park district. Wherever it is, I'll find it. I don't know. It's in there. I'll zone it, label it as a park. Oh, that's right. It's over here. Then you have to do it, I think, or something like that. Okay. And that way we can have parks and that way it's not just solid commercial. I don't think we would keep up with that level of commercial if I did whole commercial in this ring. Therefore, I want to go to high density residential for this next section. We're just going to throw these little blocks in here. And I want to do IT, or I want to do office space up here. I know that. So, and the reason I want to put office space in this innermost ring is twofold. Number one, I'm trying to create a type of visual effect here that you're starting low. These are somewhat low. And lower density residential, and things grow and get taller and taller as you get towards the center, in which typically office buildings are tall like high density residential. And then we can always put the IT clusters in here like we mentioned, right, if we want really tall. The second reason is office space does not attract a lot of traffic, and since you have all 8 of these legs converging on this one middle circle, there will be a lot of traffic flowing in here on this main leg, and I don't want there being a lot of traffic trying to pull in and out of here necessarily. So I am tempted to expand the offices out two in this direction and then do the high density residential on the other side of it. So we have 6 levels of high density residential, 6 levels of office right towards the middle of this cluster. I'm going to try this out and see. Okay, we got to start somewhere, right? So I'm going to try this out and see, but that little pattern there, I know it looks nice and colorful and everything, but if we did something similar to that, and you know what, industrial would fall into the same category. You don't need as much industrial as you do residential. So it's very possible that the best approach here is going to be to do industrial in this sector, and then in the next sector over, or maybe just half the sector, or maybe I use this for putting in larger buildings that simply still won't fit out here, because I do have the 5 units deep like we talked about, but really big buildings like a university or yeah, stuff like that are not going to fit in these areas. And in fact, if I actually use industries DLC in here, it's going to be hard to build this. So let's get the game going. I want to see how this builds up. See some people move in here, and you know, we got pretty good demand across here, 22, 49, 72. So it shouldn't take too long for people to start popping up, and there they go. So it'll be interesting to see who builds what here and what moves in. Got a couple little houses. Everybody's going to complain about electricity until that grid can grow, right? You see them all connecting up here and snapping in place until we get the industry down here in place here. Then it's going to be a little bit. There we go. Okay. So there's one guy. Boom. We got it caught up here, and there you go. So now it's going to shoot across to everybody. We need one more person to build here, and that'll connect up the rest. And now we have the start to Stewtopia. And right away, you can kind of see the levels here, right? Get a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. And these guys are all at level 1. So as they upgrade, these get taller, these get taller. And we'll work on all that kind of good stuff. But heck, that's a great start, I think. The last thing we're going to do here is we're going to connect this power center to this city. Right now it says, yeah, you got 541 megawatts. You're only using 242, but the grid is separated. So we're actually going to use our underground line here and just drop a couple of these across here to connect them up. So boom, now they're sharing power. I could systematically start getting rid of the power down here, but I don't care about that area. We're not worried about it. We're not worried. We're not worried, right? So we have nice little farm buildings that are going to move in here. They're going to be very generic. I've got to look into the farming industry and understand that a little bit better to figure out, okay, let's get the industry going down here and put in the proper buildings and so forth like that. So I just wanted to get this started. Honestly, this is really what I wanted to do, is start populating this area, get some people start moving in here. These guys are already complaining, hey, no workers. You just built the place. Hello. Can the people actually come? See, you got to get the moving truck to come in here and get the, you know, people moved in. Give them a chance, for crying out loud. For crying out loud. All right, so I think we're gonna call it there. You know, I know that's not very much. We didn't get very much done this episode. Just a lot of building out here and stuff, and laying in a grid. But I wanted to get this started. I want to look into the Industries DLC to understand exactly what I need to do to build this before we go any further. So if I only have a few buildings to destroy, right? And then we'll come back and we're gonna start expanding out. We're gonna fill this side, and I don't know if we'll jump to this other side of the leg here. I kind of want to keep it around this intersection because this is the intersection I want to keep my eye on right now. So we'll probably expand this way, and then we'll come back and we'll expand on this side. So let's go to our overhead view shot here. Look at that little line. Zink. Looks kind of funny. But yeah, that looks cool. That's a great start, and we'll pick it up from the next one. So as you take a little tour around the city here, Just want to say thank you again. Want to reach out to you, say, hey, if you like the video, give me a like. If you don't like it, throw down a dislike. Let me know what you didn't like, what you thought that needed to be improved upon, needed to be better, could be better. Things that you want to see. I'd love to see some comments. I'd love to see some people give me some suggestions as to what they're interested in. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications so you can get updated when I come out with my next video. And most of all, take care, stay safe, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks again. This is Mike from Dragon Rider signing off. Bye-bye.